On the dawn of the 7th event of the Team Quadrilla Marble League, the Snake Pit emerges with breaking news. The Golden Cheeses will represent the Quadrilla Marble League in the 3rd season of the Marble Invites. Congratulations to the Golden Cheeses for being selected for this wonderful competition, and we wish them the best of luck. Now back to today's event, the Sprint, the 7th event of the Team Quadrilla Marble League in Season 5, a straight blast to the finish line. Each team will be sending in their fastest marble to try to maximize their chances at a great result here. The sprint is made up of a lane section to start off, and then into an open section where marbles can jostle a bit, but you want to stay as straight as possible and get to the finish line as fast as possible. Looking at the standings, after the 6th event, the combination pursued, the Deep Divers with their gold rose up once again to the lead ahead of the Venomous Vipers. Those top two are very far ahead of the rest of the field, so we'll see if anyone can mount a charge here. We'll show a test run with the 4 test marbles once again here. The sprint, you know how this works, but the course a bit slower than in past seasons. Ooh, Death Adder's getting caught there towards the end. You can see fortunes can change when you go from the lane section to the open section. The Death Adders were well ahead of the rest of the marbles here, and the Snake Eyes just more momentum towards the end there, making good use of the transition from the lanes to the open perhaps, and just about will get by 200ths in fact ahead of the Death Adders. Copperheads and Ocean Ophidians running out 3rd and 4th, and there is an example of a match that can perhaps be a bit changeable here in the sprint. Now, Deep Divers, Shadow Riders, Team Atlantic, and the Treat Fleet in the first heat. Deep Divers get well ahead in the lane section, and they are not going to be caught. Team Atlantic from the 3rd lane will get in 2nd place, and comfortably those two are going to move on. Look at how far ahead the Deep Divers are ahead of all of the other teams. Coming to the open section, they could let off the gas a little bit there. They are pretty much already guaranteed their advancement. And Team Atlantic, a team that hasn't stood on the podium yet in this season, they will get advancement over the Shadow Riders and the Treat Fleet. Difficulties continue for the last place team. Now in the 2nd heat, Rosebloods, Golden Cheeses, Pumpkin Patch, and the Cold Fusion. 3 out of these 4 marbles have stood on a podium in the sprint before. Golden Cheese with Mozzarella, silver medalist last season. Rosebloods get ahead in the front, and Cold Fusion from the bottom lane will pull ahead in the open section. It was pretty close coming out of the lane section, but Cold Fusion really carried speed towards the second half of this course. You can see the Rosebloods came out to the lead, drifting off to the far side a bit. Didn't deter them all that much. The Cold Fusion, though, stretched it ahead of the Golden Cheeses with Mozzarella, who's going to be knocked out here. Pumpkin Patch, last place here. The rookie teams in this season struggling in the sprint, but it's Dahlia and Hydrogen, 2 marbles that podium together in Season 1 sprint. They're both going to move on. Now, Venomous Vipers, Valley Dashers, Bobble Squad, and the Maze Runners. Venomous Vipers with the Deep Divers moving on. They'd love to advance here. Bobble Squad will get out in front, but swerving, bouncing from side to side, and the Maze Runners will get the win from the bottom lane. The Maze Runners will get the win, but who got 2nd place? It wasn't the Venomous Vipers. The Venomous Vipers kept pace in the top lane, but fell back a little in the open section, but it's very close for 2nd place. Or we're going to have to see who gets it between the Valley Dashers and the Bobble Squad. Valley Dashers, by 1/100th of a second, will get advancement over the Bobble Squad. Bouncing from side to side in the lanes really hurt Ornament of the Bobble Squad, a past winner in the sprint. They're going to be knocked out here. Now in the final heat, Green Supreme, Bacon Brawlers, Efficient Eggs, and the Poison Ivy. And off they go, pretty even out of the gate, but Bacon Brawlers are stretching it. In the lane section, they really pulled ahead and never looked back. Rasher of the Bacon Brawlers, a marble that has won multiple sprints before in the team and the individual Quadrilla Marble League. And a dominant display here in this final heat. Poison Ivy from the bottom lane, they're also going to get advancement. Pretty good time for them too, I must say. But Bacon Brawlers go sub 4 seconds, 3.98, and that is a new Quadrilla Marble League record in the final of the 4 heats. The Bacon Brawlers have come to play here. Didn't do too good in the last event, but they had 2 podiums before that. The Efficient Eggs will get the best of the rest ahead of the Bobble Squad, who narrowly missed out. Pumpkin Patch will get dead last. Now, our groups of 4, notably Venomous Vipers, lacking in the semi-finals. Deep Divers, Cold Fusion, Maze Runners, and the Poison Ivy in the first semi-final. Deep Divers, if they advance here, they have a huge opportunity to stretch their lead. Maze Runners will get out in front first, though, and the Cold Fusion in 2nd place. They will hold it ahead of the Deep Divers. The Deep Divers try to make a charge in the open section, but it was nothing doing. The Deep Divers will get knocked out here. They'll get 5th place best in this event. Maze Runners, though, a past podiumer in the sprint, in Season 3 with Colonel, they are on to the finals, along with the Cold Fusion. Both of those teams haven't podiumed this season yet. One of them is guaranteed their first podium of the season. Now in the second semi-final, Team Atlantic, Rosebloods, Valley Dashers, and the Bacon Brawlers. Valley Dashers, another past medalist in the sprint last season, bronze they were. And it's pretty close, all four of them in the lane section. But it's Team Atlantic and the Bacon Brawlers in the open section that stretch it ahead of the Valley Dashers and the Rosebloods. And Team Atlantic and the Bacon Brawlers are going on to the next round. Rasher of the Bacon Brawlers didn't manage to exert their dominance here in this semi-final. Still are going to the final though. And Team Atlantic, a team that has struggled in the Team Quadrilla Marble League, especially in past seasons, not so much this season, they've been consistent, but haven't medaled yet. They are on to the final. Rosebloods, a pretty surprising exit in the semi-finals. One of the strongest sprinters, they'll only get 7th place. Deep Divers, notably, only 5th place. It is the best of the rest here, but it could have been a medal for them. But there you can see our final 4, and 3 of them haven't stood on the podium this season yet. The Maze Runners, Cold Fusion, Team Atlantic, well, at least 2 of them are guaranteed their first podium of the season. But who will capture gold in the sprint? Off they go. Cold Fusion started a bit ahead, but Maze Runners will stretch it, and it's going to be an easy victory for Colonel of the Maze Runners, who will capture gold in the sprint. Who got second place? It was very close, but it was not close up front. Look at how far ahead Colonel was coming to the open section, and it was smooth sailing for them. The Maze Runners, a team that captured their first gold medal ever in the final event last season, they will get the win, and Cold Fusion by 100th will get ahead of the Bacon Brawlers. Hydrogen pips Rasher to the silver medal. It's also the first medal for them. First medal for the Maze Runners this season, and it's a gold. Colonel, a marble that has been on the podium in the sprint before, never won it. Well, they have here in Team Quadrilla Marble League Season 5 ahead of the Cold Fusion and the Bacon Brawlers. Team Atlantic will miss the podium. Still, that's their best result of the season. But well done to Colonel, Hydrogen, and Rasher for making the podium in the sprint. So after the 7th event of 16 in Team Quadrilla Marble League Season 5, Deep Divers stretched their lead a bit ahead of the Venomous Vipers with a poor result in this event. Rosebloods still stay stationed in 3rd place. Bacon Brawlers jump up to 4th place with their bronze medal here. It's the Valley Dashers and the Green Supreme. And looking at the Coaches Championship after the 3rd individual event, Bacon Brawlers jump up to 1st place here, and Cold Fusion jump 5 spots into 2nd place. Very interesting things happening in the Coaches Championship. But after this, we will go to the obstacle course, an event we saw in the qualifiers. And we'll see that for the A Division and the B Division.